Have you been wondering how to sequence your warm-up or what to do in your warm-up? Make sure to stay tuned in this video because we're going to talk about that. Max Wardell, Overhead Athletic Institute. We're going to talk about warm-ups in this video. We've had some questions about it. We've actually done a few videos on exercises that you could use in your warm-up. But I wanted to talk today about how we sequence our warm-ups. So this might be for practice, this might be for training. Either way, you want to get yourself prepped and ready to perform when you do a warm-up. That's the point of a warm-up. Get the tissues ready to perform, access range of motions you're going to need when you throw, hit, or play your sport, as well as get yourself ready to perform at the highest level. So it's not all about tissue preparation, it's somewhat about mental preparation and somewhat about getting your nervous system prepped to throw the ball hard, to hit the ball hard, to run fast. So generally when we talk about warm-up, we start people with some sort of general movements. We'll take the joints through a full range of motion. You can see in the video just a couple examples. Video I got in the corner is going to show just a couple examples of things we'll do in the beginning just to get the body moving. So we want to get each joint moving because there's actually a fluid called synovial fluid that lubricates your joints. You want to get all your joints moving so they're lubricated. This also is going to increase the blood flow to your tissues, increase your core body temperature, which is something we also want. So after we get done with that, we'll do some general warm-up activity. It might be running, it might be rowing, something at a low intensity that's going to get you moving. We'll do this for about 3 to 5 minutes. Don't need a lot. Some people recommend a little bit more. We generally stick around 3 to 5 minutes because you're going to be doing more exercise in your warm-up. So we've started slow with that stuff. Then we'll go to some of our band exercises if you're doing those. Some of our body weight exercises that we might use in our warm-up. So working on serratus strength, rotator cuff, periscapular, so the muscles, the mid-low trap, the rhomboid. We're working on some of those muscles, how they have to work when you're actually going to throw. So we like to do that after we do a general body warm-up. We make it more specific as we go through our warm-up. So going to start with general mobility, then increasing your intensity just a tad, and then more specific. And then from there, more specific than that would be to actually start throwing a little bit. Some people like to do a couple sprints just to get amped up a little bit, which is fine. A lot of warm-up is going to be your preference, what you feel is best for your body, what you like to do, what gets you in the right mental state. So it might be a couple sprints. Some people like to go for 30 seconds on a stationary bike where they're pumping the arms, pumping the legs. Maybe a couple lateral plyometric jumps, maybe even a couple vertical leaps, just to get yourself ready, and then into the throwing portion. So when you're doing throwing, you have to slowly increase your distance, your percent exertion, and focusing on accuracy. So I see a lot of people that are disregarding their accuracy when they're warming up, and it's a perfect time to work on your accuracy, but it's also good to be able to locate and find your spots while you're doing your warm-up. So we generally don't throw any farther than 90 feet or as far as you can throw in a line. And this might be different for many people. That's why we don't agree with programs that say you need to throw this many throws or this long at this distance, this long at this distance. You have to do what's right for your body, and 50 throws for an 11-year-old is different than 50 throws for a 20-year-old, and throws at 80 feet for a 20-year-old are different than throws at that same distance for somebody that's 13. I mean, there's 10-year-olds and 11-year-olds who can't throw farther than 90 feet. So if I'm going to say on their program that they need to throw 20 throws at 90 feet, they've thrown as far as they can throw, and they've done 20 maximum intensity throws before they ever even stepped on the mound or before they ever even stepped in the game. So from there, if you're a pitcher, then you'd proceed to the mound. A lot of people like to do foam rolling. I would add that into the first part about general mobility of the joints, taking them through a full range of motion. That's something like people like to add in there. If you are getting some sort of manual therapy, we like to do that first or after your general warm-up, maybe get a little blood flow. So with some of the pitchers that we work with, they're gonna throw that day. We'll take them through and do some light manual therapy, light joint mobilization if they need it, or we'll do some instrument-assisted soft tissue mobilization, some functional massage, or even some cross-friction massage. Nothing intense, really light. I know a lot of guys like the cupping now, that's popular. I'm sure it's popular at some of the colleges that you guys may be throwing at, so that's something you could do prior as well. But you want to keep in mind that as you go through your warm-up, it's going to get more and more specific. So I just want to give you guys a general layout. It's a lot of preference. It's going to be up to you. But just keep in mind that you do want to be specific with your exercises, and you don't want to be arbitrary in your implementation or in how you're doing them. So you're going to need, as a throwing athlete, you're going to need rotator cuff work in your warm-up. You're going to need mid-low trap and rhomboid work in your warm-up. Make sure that you're doing them right. You're not facilitating some improper form, upper trap dominance, pec minor dominance, extension or hyperextension through the lumbar spine. So we don't want to facilitate any poor movements when we're doing our warm-up. So that's all for today. Just want to go through that for you guys, and we'll talk to you in the next video.